The truth about Agnieszka Radwańska. Agnieszka Aga Radwańska, born March 6, 1989, is a Polish professional tennis player. Radwańska achieved a career-high singles ranking of world number 2 in July 2012 and is currently ranked world number 8 by the Women's Tennis Association, WTA. Known for constructing points and making intelligent use of the court, 4, 5, 6, she has won 20 career singles titles, and is nicknamed the Professor among players and the media. Her achievements include winning WTA's Fan Favorite Award 6 times, Shot of the Year 4 times, and Shot of the Month on a regular basis. Radwańska holds a number of tennis accolades. She is the first Polish player in the Open era to reach a Grand Slam singles final, the 2012 Wimbledon Championships, the first Pole to win the WTA Finals, in 2015, the first Pole to claim a WTA singles title, the 2007 Nordea Nordic Light Open, and was one half of the first Polish team to win the Hopman Cup tournament. In addition, she won the WTA award for Most Impressive Newcomer in 2006. Radwańska has been voted the WTA's fan favorite singles player for 6 consecutive years, 2011 to 2016, the most of any player, in polls held by Tatnus.com. Radwańska has also won WTA's fan favorite shot of the year for 4 consecutive years, 2013 to 2016. For her accomplishments in sport and for representing her country with distinction, in 2013 she was awarded the Gold Cross of Merit by Polish President Bronisław Komorowski. Personal life. Born in Krakow to Robert Radwański and Marta, Radwańska began playing tennis at the age of 4 after her father introduced her to the sport. Her younger sister, Ursula, is also a tennis player. Radwańska has named Pete Sampras and Martina Hingis as inspirations. In 2009, Radwańska became a WTA ambassador for Habitat for Humanity. She has also studied tourism at universities in Krakow. Radwańska is a practicing Roman Catholic, and she took part in the Polish Catholic campaign Nie wstydź się Jezusa. I'm Not Ashamed of Jesus. She released a video for the campaign in which she urged her fans to not be ashamed of believing and arranged her tennis balls so they would read Jesus, Jesus. In the summer of 2013, she was disqualified from this campaign after posing nude for ESPN magazine's The Body issue. According to Forbes, in 2012 she was the 9th highest earning female athlete in the world. Radwańska is engaged to Dawid Selt, former Polish tennis player from Częstochowa, and her hitting partner. Her engagement was accidentally revealed by her friend, Caroline Wozniacki, on September 7, 2016. Career. 2005 to 2006, junior career and early years. Radwańska won the junior singles title at Wimbledon in 2005, defeating Tamira Bashek. She went on to win the junior French Open title in 2006 with a victory over Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. She played her first WTA tournament at the 2006 JNS Cup, later known as the Warsaw Open, in Warsaw, defeating Anastasia Moskina in her opening match. She advanced to the quarter-finals, where she lost to Elena Dementieva in 3 sets. At the 2006 Wimbledon Championships, she lost in the 4th round to Kim Clijsters. She went on to drop a second-round match to Tatiana Golovin at the U.S. Open. At the Fortis Championships Luxembourg tournament, Radwańska lost in the semi-finals to Francesca Schiavone after defeating former world number 1 Venus Williams in the second round and Dementieva in the quarter-finals. 2007 to 2008, first WTA title and breakthrough. Radwańska in action at the 2008 U.S. Open. Radwańska participated at the 2007 Australian Open, but she was upset by Anna Ivanovic in the second round. At the 2007 Sony Ericsson Open, Radwańska defeated her longtime idol, Martina Hingis, in a 3-set third-round match. She exited in the 4th round following a loss to Tatiana Garbin. In August 2007, Agnieszka Radwańska became the first Polish player in history to claim a WTA Tour singles title, defeating Vera Dushevina in the final of the Nordea Nordic Light Open. She went on to defeat defending champion Maria Sharapova in the 3rd round of the U.S. Open, before losing to Israeli Sharapova in the 4th round. Radwańska reached the quarter-finals of the 2008 Australian Open, upsetting world number 2 Svetlana Kuznetsova in the third round, then following it up with the defeat of 14th-seeded Nadia Petrova before eventually falling to Daniela Hantuchova. At the Pattaya Women's Open in Thailand, Radwańska won her second WTA singles title, beating Jill Craybuzz in the final. At the Qatar Ladies Open, Radwańska reached the semi-finals, losing to eventual champion Maria Sharapova. In May 2008, she won the Istanbul Cup on red clay with a victory over Elena Dementieva, earning her third WTA title. She then reached the fourth round of the French Open, but was defeated there by third seed and eventual semi-finalist Jelena Jankovic. On grass, Radwańska won the International Women's Open in Eastbourne, defeating Nadia Petrova in the final. At Wimbledon, she defeated Svetlana Kuznetsova in the fourth round, then lost to Serena Williams in the quarter-finals. At the Olympics in Beijing, Radwańska lost the second-round match to Francesca Schiavone. She went on to reach the fourth round of the U.S. Open, losing to Venus Williams. She later went to the 2008 WTA Tour Championships as an alternate and replaced Ana Ivanovic after the latter withdrew. She defeated Svetlana Kuznetsova in straight sets. Radwańska ended the year as the first Polish woman to surpass $1 million in career prize money, as well as the first to be ranked world number 10. 2009 to 2010, Top 10 WTA ranking. Radwańska in 2009, Radwańska reached the quarter-finals of the 2009 Metabank International Sydney, losing in 3 sets to eventual champion Elena Dementieva. She was defeated in the first round of the Australian Open by Katarina Bondarenko. At the 2009 BNP Paribas Open, she defeated Samantha Stosur and Alexandra Wozniak en route to the quarter-finals, where she lost to Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. At the Sony Ericsson Open, she lost a 3-set fourth-round match to Venus Williams. She reached the fourth round of the 2009 French Open, falling in 3 sets to eventual champion Svetlana Kuznetsova. She and Ursula also reached the quarter-finals in doubles. She went on to reach her second consecutive quarter-final at Wimbledon, falling to Venus Williams. She reached her first semi-final of the 2009 season in Tokyo, where she fell in 3 sets to eventual champion Maria Sharapova. She reached her first final of the year in China, losing in straight sets to Svetlana Kuznetsova. Radwańska and her doubles partner Maria Kirilenko reached the semi-finals of the 2010 Australian Open, losing to the world number 1 pairing of Cara Black and Liesl Huber in 3 sets. In Indian Wells, Radwańska won her 5th straight match against Marion Bartoli, and went on to upset Elena Dementieva in the quarter-finals before losing to Caroline Wozniacki in the semi-finals. Radwańska entered the 2010 Sony Ericsson Open, where she was defeated in the quarter-finals by Venus Williams. At the 2010 Wimbledon Championships, she was defeated in the fourth round by Li Na, whom she had beaten at the same stage the previous year. Radwańska reached the final of the 2010 Mercury Insurance Open, falling to Svetlana Kuznetsova. Due to a stress fracture in her foot, Radwańska's 2010 season ended at the China Open, where she lost a 3-set match to Angelique Kerber. Radwańska subsequently finished 2010 outside the top 10. 2011, back-to-back titles in Tokyo and Beijing, Radwańska reached the quarter-finals of the Australian Open, losing to eventual champion Kim Clijsters. She went on to reach the fourth round in Indian Wells, where she lost to Victoria Azarenka, and the quarter-finals in Miami, losing to Vera Zvonareva. However, she won the Miami doubles title with Daniela Hantuchova, defeating Nadia Petrova and Liesl Huber. She went on to reach the fourth round of the 2011 French Open, losing to Maria Sharapova. Radwańska won the 2011 Tour Pan-Pacific Open. Radwańska suffered her earliest ever exit at Wimbledon, when she was defeated in the second round by Czech qualifier Petra Chetkovska. At the 2011 Mercury Insurance Open, Radwańska advanced to the final and defeated rival Vera Zvonareva in straight sets. With the victory, she earned her first title since winning in Eastbourne in 2008. At the 2011 Rogers Cup in Toronto, she once again defeated Zvonareva in the third round, coming back from a 0-4 deficit in the second set. She went on to lose a three-set semi-final match against Samantha Stosur. After defeating her sister Ursula in the first round of the U.S. Open, she was upset in the second round by eventual semi-finalist Angelique Kerber. She avenged this loss at the Torrey Pan-Pacific Open, defeating Kerber in 3 sets before advancing to the final, where she won her third straight match against Vera Zvonareva, earning her first Premier 5 title. At the 2011 China Open, she defeated Zhang Ji, Sofia Arvidsson, Anna Ivanovic, who retired from their quarter-final match due to a back injury, and Flavia Pennetta in straight sets, before winning a 3-set final against Andrea Petkovic. She qualified for her first season-ending championship at the WTA Championships in Istanbul, taking the 8th spot when Marion Bartoli was unable to win the title in Moscow. Going into the 2011 WTA Tour Championships, Radwańska was labeled by the media as one of the hottest players on tour. She dropped her 3-set opening match to Caroline Wozniacki. She then won her 4th straight match against Vera Zvonareva, coming back from a 3-5 deficit in the 3rd set and saving 3 match points. To advance to the semi-finals, she needed to win at least 1 set against Petra Kvitova, but eventually lost in straight sets. She ended the year ranked 8th with a 46-18 record, and was named WTA Fan Favorite Singles Player. 2012, World Number 2 and first major final. Radwańska in the final of the 2012 Wimbledon Championships. During the first 4 months of 2012, Radwańska won 2 singles titles and amassed a record of 28-5, defeating all opponents but then world number 1 Victoria Azarenka. Following losses to Azarenka in the Apia International, the Australian Open, and the Qatar Total Open, she won her first title of the season at the Dubai Tennis Championships, defeating Julia Gorges in straight sets. After advancing to the quarter-finals in Indian Wells, she reached a new ranking of world number 4. Her second title came at the Sony Ericsson Open, where she defeated Venus Williams in the quarter-finals and Marion Bartoli in the semi-finals, advancing to a championship match against Maria Sharapova. Radwańska won the championship without losing a set throughout the tournament. Radwańska competing at the 2012 London Olympics, just a few weeks after having reached the Wimbledon final at the same venue. Her 5th loss of the season, and 5th to Azarenka, came in the semi-finals of the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix in Stuttgart. She then entered the Mutual Madrid Open, where she lost to Azarenka in the semi-finals, securing the world number 3 ranking. At the Internazionale Biennale d'Italia, she lost her opening round match to Petra Chetkovska, marking her first loss of the year to someone other than Azarenka. In the final of the Brussels Open, Radwańska defeated Simona Halep in straight sets, winning her 3rd WTA title of the year and 10th in her career. At the French Open, she defeated Venus Williams in the second round, but then fell in the 3rd round to Svetlana Kuznetsova. Radwańska reached her first career Grand Slam final at the 2012 Wimbledon Championships. She defeated Maria Kirilenko in the quarter-finals and Angelique Kerber in the semi-finals, losing the championship match to Serena Williams in 3 sets. By advancing to the final, she became the first Polish player in the Open era to reach the championship round of a Grand Slam singles tournament, and attained a new ranking of world number 2. Radwańska was the flag bearer for Poland in the 2012 Summer Olympics. She lost in the opening round to Julia Gorges. During the summer hard-court season, Radwańska was twice one match away from becoming the world number 1. She would lose to Li Na on both occasions, in the quarterfinals of the 2012 Rogers Cup and the 2012 Western and Southern Open. Radwańska was defeated in the 4th round of the 2012 U.S. Open by Roberta Vinci. She again reached the final of the Torrey Pan-Pacific Open, losing in 3 sets to Nadia Petrova. She exited the China Open following a quarter-final loss to Li Na. Radwańska won her opening round-robin match at the WTA Championships, defeating the defending champion Petra Kvitova in straight sets. She then lost a 3-set match to Maria Sharapova. She advanced to the semi-finals with a victory over Sara Errani, which marked the longest 3-set match in the history of the tournament, but exited following a loss to Serena Williams. She then defeated Williams in straight sets during an exhibition in Toronto. At the conclusion of the season, Radwańska won WTA awards for Fan Favorite Facebook Profile and Fan Favorite Video, and was again named Fan Favorite Singles Player. 2013, WTA Shot of the Year and 3 WTA titles. Radwańska during 2013 Southern California Open, quarterfinals. Radwańska began her season at the ASB Classic in Auckland, where she defeated Janina Wickmayer in the final to win the 11th singles title of her career. She won her second straight tournament of 2013 at the Apia International, where she defeated Dominika Cibulkova without losing a game. Radwańska reached the quarter-finals of the Australian Open, exiting the tournament following a loss to Li Na. She went on to play the Qatar Total Open, where she was eliminated in the semi-finals by then world number 1 Victoria Azarenka, the eventual champion. She also reached the quarter-finals in Dubai, where she lost to Petra Kvitova. In the BNP Paribas Open, she lost in the fourth round to Maria Kirilenko. She then entered the Sony Open as the defending champion. During her quarter-final win against Kirsten Flipkens, Radwańska won a point with a spinning backhand volley, which was voted the shot of the year on the WTA's website. She exited the tournament with a loss to Serena Williams in the semi-finals. After early losses in her clay court season, she advanced to the quarter-finals of the French Open for the first time, where she lost to 5th seed Sara Errani. She beat Li Na in the quarter-finals of Wimbledon but lost her semi-final match to Sabine Lisicki. She was later awarded the Gold Cross of Merit by Polish President Bronisław Komorowski. Her next tournament was the Bank of the West Classic in Stanford, where she has received a bye into the second round and beat Francesca Schiavone for a place in the quarter-finals. She then beat Varvara Lepchenko, as well as Jamie Hampton, losing to Dominika Cibulkova in the final. In September, Radwańska defeated Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova to win the KDB Korea Open, her third singles title of 2013. She was eliminated from the WTA Championships in the round-robin stage, exiting with a loss to Angelique Kerber at the conclusion of the season. Radwańska was voted WTA Fan Favorite Singles Player for the third consecutive year. 2014, Canadian Open title, out of top 5. Radwańska during her semi-final match at the 2014 BNP Paribas Katowice Open. Radwańska began the 2014 season by representing Poland at the Hopman Cup, where she competed alongside her compatriot, Grzegorz Panfil. The pair advanced to the final, where Radwańska defeated Elise Cornet in their singles match. However, she and Panfil lost to Cornet and Jo-Wilfried Tsonga in the deciding mixed doubles match. Following the Hopman Cup, Radwańska failed to defend her title at the Apia International in Sydney, losing to Bethany Mattek-Sands in the second round. Radwańska defeated Victoria Azarenka to reach her first Australian Open semi-final, but lost to Dominika Cibulkova. Radwańska also reached the semi-final of the Qatar Total Open in Doha, losing to eventual champion Simona Halep. She avenged her loss Halep in the semi-final of the BNP Paribas Open, reaching the final for the first time in her career. Partly due to a knee injury, Radwańska was defeated by Flavia Pennetta. She was in tears while apologizing to the crowd afterward, saying she was unable to run. She then advanced to the quarter-finals in Miami, where she lost in 3 sets to Dominika Cibulkova. In April, Radwańska played in the BNP Paribas Katowice Open, about 47 miles from her hometown in Krakow. Following victories over Kristina Pliskova, Francesca Schiavone, and Yvonne Musburger, she lost a 3-set semi-final to Elise Cornet. Radwańska, who was playing in a WTA Tour event in Poland for the first time in 7 years, stated, "I'm really excited. I still have vivid memories of my first ever WTA main draw event at the premier event in Warsaw in 2006. As a 17-year-old girl, I managed to beat 2004 French Open champion Anastasia Moschina in the first round. I couldn't imagine a better debut. So my tennis career really began in my home country, and I'm thankful for this opportunity." She reached the quarter-finals of the Porsche Tennis Grand Prix in Stuttgart and the semi-finals of the Mutual Madrid Open, losing both matches to Maria Sharapova. At the Internazionale d'Italia in Rome, she lost in the quarter-finals to Jelena Jankovic. Following early exits at the French Open and Aegon International, she advanced to the fourth round of Wimbledon, but lost to Ekaterina Makarova. At the Rogers Cup in Montreal, Radwańska defeated Barbora Zalivova-Strakova, Sabine Lisicki, Victoria Azarenka and Ekaterina Makarova to reach the final, where she defeated Venus Williams to win her first title of the season and the first Canadian Open of her career. Following her win at Rogers Cup, she competed at the Western and Southern Open, where she defeated Karumi Nara and Sabine Lisicki before losing in the quarter-finals to Caroline Wozniacki. At the U.S. Open, Radwańska beat Sharon Finkman in the first round but lost in straight sets to Shuai Peng in the next round. In September, Radwańska played at the 2014 Kia Korea Open, where she defeated Polona Harkog and Schnell Scheepers. She then faced Varvara Lepchenko in the quarter-finals but could not avenge her loss to Lepchenko at Stanford earlier, losing in 3 sets again. Radwańska then lost to Caroline Garcia in the second round at Wuhan Open. In her next tournament at Beijing, she beat Coco Vandeweghe before losing to Roberta Vinci in the second round. At the WTA Finals, she was drawn into the white group alongside Maria Sharapova, Petra Kvitova, and Caroline Wozniacki. She defeated Petra Kvitova in her opening round-robin group match but lost close matches to Maria Sharapova and Caroline Wozniacki. Despite her 1-2 record, she placed second in her group and advanced to the semi-finals, losing to Simona Halep. She ended the year ranked world number 6. Following the season's conclusion, Radwańska again defeated one of her childhood idols, Martina Hingis, in a one-set match as part of a team event at the Champions Tennis League in India. Hingis then defeated Radwańska in their next meeting at the event. Throughout 2014, Radwańska won the WTA accolade for Shot of the Month on 4 occasions, won Shot of the Year for an overhead backhand in Montreal, and, for the 4th consecutive season, won the WTA award for Fan Favorite Player. She expressed gratitude toward fans and called the win an honor. 2015, WTA Finals champion, 500th match win and back to top 5. Radwańska at the 2015 French Open. At the end of the 2014 season, Radwańska hired Martina Navratilova as part of her coaching team, with the specific goal of winning a Grand Slam title. She started 2015 by teaming with Jerzy Janowicz to win the Hopman Cup, Poland's first title in the event. The victory included Radwańska's first win over Serena Williams in a singles match. Radwańska competed in Sydney, where she defeated Elise Cornet but lost to Garbiñe Muguruza in the second round. She reached the fourth round of Australian Open, where she lost to Venus Williams for the first time since 2010, in 3 sets. In February, Radwańska played in Dubai and Doha, where she recorded wins over Caroline Garcia and Flavia Pennetta, but lost for the second time in a year to Muguruza and Venus Williams, respectively. This version is strictly for demonstration purposes only. Please contact our sales support team in order to obtain a valid license for commercial use. She then progressed to Indian Wells, where she lost in the third round to Heather Watson. After that, she competed in the 2015 Miami Open, where she lost to Carla Suarez Navarro in the fourth round. In April, Radwańska participated for the second time in her career at 2015 Katowice Open in Poland, where she defeated Janina Wickmatter, Sophie Mestic, Klara Kaukalova before losing to Camila Giorgi in the semi-finals. Shortly after Radwańska's first-round loss at Stuttgart Open, Martina Navratilova stated that she was too busy to continue in her part-time role as Agnieszka Radwańska's consulting coach. Radwańska stated, "I just wanted to thank Martina for her time and efforts over these last few months. It was a great experience to work with one of the all-time greats." However, we both agreed that as Martina could not commit 100% to the project, then it was not going to work as a long-term partnership. At the 2015 Mutual Madrid Open, Radwańska defeated Lara Arruabarrena and Casey Dellacqua before losing to Caroline Wozniacki in the third round. As a result of this loss, Radwańska dropped outside of the top 10 for the first time since October 2011. At the 2015 French Open, Radwańska was defeated by Annika Beck in the first round. The loss marked only her third first-round loss at a Grand Slam in her career, and her first since the 2009 Australian Open. In June, Radwańska competed in her first grass tournament at 2015 Aegon Trophy in Nottingham. She advanced to the semi-finals at the Aegon Open Nottingham, losing to Monica Niculescu. In her next grass tournament at 2015 Aegon International in Eastbourne, Radwańska defeated Irina Falconi, Karolina Pliskova, and Svetlana Perenkova to reach the semi-finals of a grass event for the second time in 3 weeks, after doing so at Nottingham. After defeating Sloane Stephens, Radwańska reached her first final of the season against Belinda Bencic, who defeated her in 3 sets to claim her first WTA title. Radwańska at Aegon International Tennis, Devonshire Park, Eastbourne, June 2015. Radwańska then started her 2015 Wimbledon Championships campaign just 3 days after her final at Eastbourne. During the first week she defeated Lucy Hrdecka, Ajla Tomljanovic and Casey Dellacqua, all in straight sets. She then defeated Jelena Jankovic and Madison Keys to advance to the semi-finals where she faced Garbiñe Muguruza. In her third Wimbledon semi-final in 4 years, Radwańska ended up losing the match in 3 sets. After her successful run at Wimbledon, Radwańska returned to the top 10 after she dropped outside in early May this year. Radwańska began her summer hard-court season at the Bank of the West Classic, where she lost a tight 3-set match to Angelique Kerber in the quarter-finals. As the defending champion at the 2015 Rogers Cup, Radwańska defeated Julia Gorges and Elise Cornet before losing to Simona Halep in the quarter-final. Due to her first-round loss at the 2015 Western and Southern Open, Radwańska decided to participate at the 2015 Connecticut Open, where she defeated Coco Vandeweghe and Elise Cornet but lost to Petra Kvitova in the quarter-finals. At 2015 U.S. Open, she defeated Katerina Siniakova and Magdalena before losing to Madison Keys in the third round. At the 2015 Toray Pan-Pacific Open in Tokyo, Radwańska defeated Coco Vandeweghe, Elena Svitolina, Karolina Pliskova, Dominika Cibulkova and Belinda Bencic to win her first title of the season. Radwańska also took the Toray Pan-Pacific in 2011, and is the first player to have won the event twice since it moved outdoors, and onto a hard court, in 2008. "This is the first tournament I have won twice, so it's very special for me," said Radwańska. She added, "I really didn't expect that kind of score against Belinda, she's playing so well. I'm never going to be a powerful tennis player, even if I spend the whole day in the gym. That's the way I play, trying to find a way to beat those stronger players." Only 36 hours after her win in Tokyo, Radwańska competed at the Wuhan Open tournament in China where she lost to Venus Williams for a third time this season. Following the Wuhan Open, Radwańska found herself at number 9 on the road to Singapore, 5 points behind Carlos Suarez Navarro and 15 points behind Angelique Kerber. At her next scheduled tournament, the China Open, she defeated Coco Vandeweghe, Mona Barthel, Madison Keys, and Angelique Kerber before losing to Garbiñe Muguruza in the semi-finals. Radwańska continued at the 2015 Tianjin Open, where she defeated Olga Savchuk, Qiang Wang, Elizaveta Kulikova, Karolina Pliskova and Danko Kolinic to win her second title of the year and 16th of her career. With this win she also secured a spot in the WTA Finals in Singapore, making it her 5th straight year in the year-end WTA competition. At the WTA Finals, Radwańska was drawn into the red group alongside Simona Halep, Maria Sharapova and Flavia Pennetta. She lost her first round-robin match to Maria Sharapova in 3 sets. Following her loss to Pennetta, Radwańska battled past Simona Halep in their last round-robin match, ensuring the Romanian was eliminated. As a result, Radwańska advanced to the semi-finals where she defeated Garbiñe Muguruza in 3 sets to make her first appearance in the final. She defeated Petra Kvitova in 3 sets and claimed her first WTA Finals title. She became the 4th player since the reintroduction of the round-robin format in 2003 to advance to the final after losing 2 matches, and the first to win the title. This was the biggest title of her career to date. Radwańska ended the year ranked world number 5. During 2015, Radwańska won the WTA accolade for WTA Match of the Year, WTA Finals semi-final match against Garbiñe Muguruza, Best Dressed, On Court, Rogers Cup, Shot of the Month on 4 occasions, won WTA Shot of the Year for the third year in a row, WTA Finals Championship match against Petra Kvitova, and, for the fifth consecutive season, won the WTA Award for Fan Favorite Player. 2016, returned to top 2, year-end number 3 and 20th WTA title. Radwańska began her season at the 2016 Shenzhen Open where she defeated Alexandra Krunic, Zhang Shuai, Qiang Wang, Annalena Friedsam and Alison Risk, all in straight sets, to win her 18th WTA title. As a result of her performance she was able to move to 4th in the world rankings. At the Australian Open, Radwańska advanced to the semi-finals, losing to Serena Williams. Next, she played at the Qatar Open in Doha, where she defeated Kateryna Bondarenko, Monica Niculescu and Roberta Vinci to reach her 5th semi-final at the tournament. She lost to Carla Suarez Navarro in 2 sets, but moved up to world number 3. In the 2016 BNP Paribas Open, she defeated Dominika Cibulkova, Monica Niculescu, Jelena Jankovic and Petra Kvitova. In doing so, she regained her world number 2 status. She lost a tight match with a second-set tiebreaker to Serena Williams in the semi-finals. At the 2016 Miami Open she defeated Elise Cornet and Madison Bringle before losing to Timea Beksinskaya in the 4th round. Radwańska practicing in June 2016. At her first tournament of the clay season, the 2016 Porsche Tennis Grand Prix, number 1 seeded Radwańska defeated Andrea Petkovic and Karolina Pliskova for the 7th and 6th time respectively. In the semi-final she lost to German qualifier Laura Siegemund who upset Simona Halep and Roberta Vinci on her way to the final. Serena Williams' withdrawal from the Madrid Open, tennis, elevated Radwańska to top seed of the tournament. She lost to Dominika Cibulkova in the first round. At Roland Garros, number 2 seeded Radwańska defeated Bojana Jovanovski, Caroline Garcia and Barbora Strakova before losing to Tsvetana Perenkova. Radwańska's 4th round match against Perenkova was contested over 3 days due to harsh rainy conditions. Radwańska led the encounter prior to the resumption of the match in the rain. However, while playing in the rain she dropped 10 consecutive games, got treatment from a trainer on her hand and subsequently ended up losing the match in 3 sets. While avoiding major injury during the match, Radwańska needed treatment to her hand the following day. Radwańska was awarded a wild-card entry into the Birmingham Classic, which opened a grass-court season. She lost to Coco Vandeweghe in the opening match. Prior to Wimbledon, Radwańska competed in another grass tournament at Eastbourne International. She beat Eugenie Bouchard to reach her first quarter-final on grass courts this season. At Wimbledon Radwańska was seeded 3rd. She defeated Kateryna Kozlova in the first round, followed by a 3-set thriller against Anna Kanu and then comfortably beating Katerina Siniakova in the 3rd round. Number 3 seed Radwańska, who was considered to be the top competition for Serena Williams since Garbiñe Muguruza was eliminated in the 2nd round, was upset herself in the round of 16. Radwańska found herself on the losing end of a tight 3-set match against Dominika Cibulkova, which lasted almost 3 hours. At the start of the summer hard-court season Radwańska pulled out of the Bank of the West Classic, due to an injured right hand. She caught an injury to her right hand during the marathon 3rd set in the 4th round of the Wimbledon Championships against Cibulkova. Unfortunately the right hand injury I suffered at Wimbledon is not 100% fine, and my medical team has advised me to rest, said Radwańska. She, however, was able to get back in shape before Rogers Cup in Montreal. At Rogers Cup, she defeated Monica Niculescu in straight sets before losing to Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova in the 3rd round. In August Radwańska participated in her 3rd Olympics at the 2016 Summer Olympics in Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. After 55 hours of travel time to get to Rio from Montreal she lost in the 1st round match to Sisai Zhang. Partnered with the 2014 Australian Open men's doubles winner, Lukas Kabat, she also lost a tight first-round mixed doubles match to the Romanian pair of Irina Camelia Begu and Horia Takai. Next Radwańska competed at the 2016 Western and Southern Open in Cincinnati where she battled her way past Johanna Konta to clinch the last 9 games of the match to move into the quarter-finals. You do not have a valid verification file. Please contact our sales support team to obtain a valid license. She lost to last year's Cincinnati runner-up Simona Halep. Following Cincinnati, Radwańska was awarded a wild-card entry into the 2016 Connecticut Open in New Haven. It was her fourth event in 5 weeks. Top-seeded Radwańska defeated Jelena Ostapenko, Kirsten Flipkens and two-time defending champion Petra Kvitova to move into the final. In the final, she beat Elina Svitolina in straight sets to win her first-ever Connecticut Open title and the 19th title of her career. Additionally, with her win in New Haven, she earned enough points to clinch first place in the U.S. Open Series bonus challenge and a chance for up to an extra $1 million, depending on her finish in New York. Seeded fourth at the U.S. Open, Radwańska defeated Jessica Pegula, Naomi Brody and Caroline Garcia, all in straight sets to make it to the second week of the tournament. She lost to 18-year-old Annika Yu in the fourth round. Radwańska started the Asian leg of the WTA calendar with the Pan-Pacific Open tournament in Tokyo. As defending champion and seeded number 2, she defeated Barbora Strakova and Monica Puig to reach her fifth Tokyo semi-final. During her quarter-final post-match conference, Radwańska stated that she felt a little like John Isner today while serving 8 aces in overpowering Olympic gold medalist Monica Puig. In the semi-final, she lost a tight 3-set match to Caroline Wozniacki. At Wuhan Open, third-seeded Radwańska defeated Ekaterina Makarova to set up a rematch with Caroline Wozniacki. Following a 2-set win over Caroline Wozniacki, Radwańska lost a tight 3-set quarter-final match against Svetlana Kuznetsova. Radwańska continued at the China Open, tennis, the fourth and last premier mandatory stop of the season. Without dropping a set, she defeated Wang Qiang, tennis, Ekaterina Makarova, Caroline Wozniacki, Yaroslava Shvedova, Elina Svitolina and Johanna Konta to win her second China Open title and the 20th title of her career. The 2016 China Open is Radwańska's third premier mandatory title. She is just the fourth player to own 3 or more premier mandatory trophies, along with Serena Williams, Victoria Azarenka, and Maria Sharapova. Radwańska next played at 2016 Tianjin Open. She beat Tajana Maria and Evgenia Rodina in straight sets, but withdrew from her QF match with right thigh injury. Following her win over Ekaterina Makarova at the China Open, reigning WTA Finals champion, Radwańska qualified for the 2016 WTA Finals in Singapore. She returned to Singapore for the 6th consecutive year, the longest active streak on the tour. At the WTA Finals, Radwańska was drawn into the white group alongside Karolina Pliskova, Garbiņa Muguruza and Svetlana Kuznetsova. In her opening match, she lost to Kuznetsova despite having a match point in the third set. In her second and third round-robin matches, Radwańska defeated Garbiņa Muguruza and Karolina Pliskova, both in straight sets. She advanced to her fourth WTA Championships semi-final, where she lost to world number 1, Angelique Kerber. For the first time in her career, Radwańska ended the season ranked world number 3. For the fourth year in a row, Radwańska was voted the winner of WTA Shot of the Year. She took top honors with her hot shot against Monica Niculescu at the Indian Wells Masters Tournament. 78. Additionally, her performance in a close match against Dominika Cibulkova at Wimbledon won her the Grand Slam Match of the Year award. Radwańska also won the WTA award for Fan Favorite Player. 2017. Lack of form and decline. During the off-season, Radwańska switched her racket make from Babolat to Srixon. She began the year at the Shenzhen Open as the top seed and defending champion, where she reached the quarter-final before losing to Alison Riske. The following week, she reached the final at Sydney International, defeating Christina Mikhail, Dwen Yinggang, and Barbora Strakova before losing to Johanna Konta. Seeded third at the Australian Open, she defeated Svetlana Perenkova. In the second round, she lost to the eventual semi-finalist Mirjana Lucic-Baroni. Following a second-round loss to Caroline Wozniacki at the Qatar Open, Radwańska competed at the Dubai Tennis Championships. As the fourth seed, she received a bye into the second round, where she defeated Belgian qualifier Elise Mertens in straight sets. She lost to Catherine Bellis in the third round. In March, Radwańska celebrated her 28th birthday. She prepared for the Indian Wells Open. At the Indian Wells Tennis Garden she defeated Sarah Sorribes-Tormo before losing to Peng Shuai in the third round. Next she competed in the 2017 Miami Open, where she defeated Wang Qiang in straight sets for a rematch with the Australian Open semi-finalist Mirjana Lucic-Baroni. Lucic-Baroni defeated Radwańska for a second time in 2017, this time for the loss of just 3 games. In April, Radwańska began her clay season at the 2017 Porsche Tennis Grand Prix as the 7th seed. She lost in straight sets to Ekaterina Makarova in the first round. Fed Cup participation: Radwańska has participated in the Fed Cup from 2006 to the present. All in all, she has played a total of 48 Fed Cup matches with 41 wins and 7 losses. For her achievements she was presented with 2 Fed Cup Heart Awards. "I think it's great to play Fed Cup," said Radwańska. "I've been playing for the last couple of years and I really think it helped my team to go up and, I'm very happy about it and I'm always ready to play." As member of the Poland Fed Cup team, Radwańska participated in 2014 Fed Cup World Group playoffs. In Barcelona she led Poland to a 3-2 win over Spain, which allowed Poland to advance to 2015 Fed Cup World Group for the first time in over 20 years. Rivalries: Radwańska vs Zvonareva. Radwańska and Zvonareva following the 2011 Pan-Pacific Open final. Radwańska has a rivalry with Russian player Vera Zvonareva, which began in 2007. Radwańska leads the series 4-2. Throughout their meetings, Radwańska has proven able to match Zvonareva's pace and movements around the court. Zvonareva is considered the more powerful of the two, while Radwańska has been noted as more focused at times, utilizing what Sports Illustrated's Courtney Nguyen dubbed selective aggression during the pair's 2011 matches. Their first match occurred during the 2007 Kremlin Cup, with Zvonareva winning in straight sets. The two did not play again until the 2011 season, when Radwańska won 4 of their 5 matches, including the finals of the Mercury Insurance Open and the Pan-Pacific Open. Their final meeting of 2011 was an acclaimed match at the WTA Championships. Trailing 3-5 in the third set, Radwańska saved 3 match points and went on to win in 3 sets. The victory marked her 4th straight win against Zvonareva, whom she described as very consistent and always tough to beat. Radwańska vs Lee. Radwańska and Lee Na first played in 2009. Lee lead the series 6-5. Radwańska won the majority of their matches on grass and their only meeting on clay. Lee lead the rivalry on hard courts. After their first 4 matches in 2009 and 2010, the head-to-head was even at 2-2. This included a victory each at the Wimbledon Championships. Radwańska winning in 2009 and Lee in 2010. In 2012 Radwańska and Lee met 4 times, with Lee taking 3 victories. Lee lost their meeting in the Stuttgart quarter-final in 3 sets, but dominated in Montreal, Cincinnati and Beijing. Lee prevented Radwańska from taking the world #1 ranking off the incumbent Victoria Azarenka. In 2013 both won the first tournament they entered. They were both undefeated when they met each other in the semi-finals of their second tournament of the year at Sydney. Radwańska beat Lee and eventually won the tournament. At the 2013 Australian Open, Lee became the first player to defeat Radwańska that season, with a victory in the quarter-finals. That same year they met again at Wimbledon in the quarter-finals, with Radwańska winning in 3 sets. Radwańska vs Ivanovic. Radwańska and Anna Ivanovic had their first professional meeting in 2006. Radwańska leads the series 7-3. The majority of their matches have been played on hard courts. Radwańska leads their matchups on clay. Radwańska vs Kerber. Radwańska vs Kerber has been described as one of the closest rivalries in women's tennis. The rivalry stretches back to their first meeting in 2008 Qatar Telecom German Open. Radwańska and Kerber are tied after winning 6 matches each. 98. The players have played 1 match each on grass and clay, with Radwańska winning both. Kerber leads their head-to-head on hard courts 5-4. Their first meeting in 2015 at Bank of the West Classic took place at night, with Kerber winning in 3 sets. Radwańska vs Kuznetsova. Radwańska and Svetlana Kuznetsova have played each other 17 times since 2007, with Radwańska trailing the head-to-head 4-13. Their first meeting was at Wimbledon in 2007, with Radwańska losing in straight sets. She lost their first 3 meetings, but in the 4 meetings that eventuated in 2008, she would win 3 of them, including in the 3rd round of the Australian Open and in the 4th round of Wimbledon. Additionally, she also defeated her at the year-end championships later in the year after replacing an injured Anna Ivanovic during the round-robin stage. Radwańska would later struggle in the rivalry, at one point losing 6 meetings in a row, including an upset loss at the 2012 French Open, before ending this losing streak at the 2014 Mutual Madrid Open, saving 3 match points in the process. Radwańska has also lost to Kuznetsova in the 2 finals in which they met, first at Beijing in 2009 and then at San Diego in 2010. In 2015, Radwańska lost to Kuznetsova again in the opening match of Fed Cup tie between Russia and Poland. Their most recent meeting at the 2016 Wuhan Open saw Radwańska lose a 3-set, quarter-final thriller after holding a match point in the 2nd set. They met for the 17th time at the WTA Finals in Singapore, with Radwańska again wasting a match point in a 3-set loss. Playing style and equipment. Radwańska hitting a crouching forehand. In the years since I first joined the WTA Tour, people have called me Ninja or the Professor, and that's the greatest compliment because I want to make those shots that make people ask, how did she do that? Radwańska in 2016. In 2012, Tom Perrotta of the Wall Street Journal called Radwańska the most tactically sound, subtle tennis player in the world. You do not have a valid verification file. Please contact our sales support team to obtain a valid license. Over the years she has been given the nicknames the Magician, Ninja and the Professor, due to the fact that she can pull off the most difficult shots in the game with ease. Radwańska's game is founded on variety, mobility, and a tendency to anticipate her opponent's actions. She often uses this style to construct rallies, either opening the court up for a winner, or prompting a surprised opponent to hit a misplaced return. Her primary weapons included a mixture of slices and lobs, along with her ability to hit the ball at a variety of angles. She also makes use of a disguised drop shot, often swung with the same motion as a normal stroke during a rally. She is also noted for her crouching shots, during which she quickly drops in place to return or redirect a low ball, along with her use of an overhead backhand while on defense. In fact, she is known for having invented her distinctive squat position shot, where she sits so low on her haunches that she can play half volleys with a horizontal racket. I'm not sure if I invented it, says Radwańska, but I was definitely one of the first ones. When I watch TV, I can hear commentators say that was my shot, even if someone else is playing, so it's nice to hear I can put something new into tennis. Radwańska hitting a tweener shot. One of Radwańska's main weaknesses is her lack of power in her serve. Her serve, especially her second serve, is generally slow and vulnerable to attack. Her shots sometimes lack penetration on court, posing little threat to power hitters. I don't think I can ever serve 200 km/h, it's just not my body, Radwańska said. I have to do something else. I was just born to play like this. I have so many ideas. In your mind it's like, okay, I go down the line, then cross-court, maybe drop shot. But you have just 1 second, or even not 1 second, it just has to be automatic. Radwańska merely exhales when she strikes the ball, rather than loudly grunting like many of her peers. She bounces the ball no more than 4 times before serving. She says she can play with any racket and likes to use one for an entire match, unlike most players, who routinely grab frames with fresh strings. Tennis commentators, including former pro Wojciech Fibak, have compared her playing style to that of Martina Hingis, with Fibak describing her as a natural mover who understands the geometry of the court. Radwańska has cited Hingis as an inspiration. She and Hingis had their lone tour meeting in 2007, with Radwańska winning in 3 sets. Radwańska played with the Babolat Pure Drive light rackets until the end of the 2016 season. At the start of the 2017 season, Beginning with the Shenzhen Open tournament, Radwańska started playing with a new tennis racket, made by the Japanese manufacturer, Srixon. Other tennis players who also use Srixon rackets include Kevin Anderson, Masaki Doi, Kurumi Nara, Zarina Diaz and Magda Linette. For her on-court tennis apparel, Radwańska is currently sponsored by Lotto Sport Italia. Coaches: Radwańska began her tennis career with her father, Robert Radwański, as her coach. She stated, "My dad was traveling with me all my life and we practiced together for 17 years, almost actually 18. So it's pretty long time." In 2011, Radwańska began working with Fed Cup coach Tomasz Wiktorowski, who replaced her father. Borna Bikic, a veteran coach on the WTA Tour, briefly joined them in 2012. Radwańska hired Martina Navratilova as part of her team at the conclusion of the 2014 season. In April 2015 they parted ways after Navratilova stated that she was too busy to continue in her part-time role as Radwańska's consulting coach. Sponsors: after years of expressing her love for the American restaurant chain Cheesecake Factory, Radwańska became the restaurant's first sports endorsement in 2014. Radwańska began to wear the Cheesecake Factory's logo on her visor at the start of the 2014 BNP Paribas Open. Additionally, she will continue to wear the company logo during all of her matches played in the U.S. On January 1, 2014, Radwańska became a global ambassador for the luxury watch manufacturer Rado. She signed a 3-year deal with the watch company, becoming the third tennis player to join Rado after Julia Gorges and Andy Murray. The deal will see her wear the Rado Hyperchrome automatic chronograph in white high-tech ceramic. Radwańska also has a partnership agreement with Lexus. As a result of the sponsorship, Lexus logo appears on Agnieszka's court dress in all the Grand Slam tournaments, the Masters tournament and in selected tournaments ranked Premier and Premier Mandatory. Additionally, Radwańska is currently driving the latest Lexus model, LS Limousine. Radwańska also has sponsorship agreements with Babolat, Lotto Sport Italia, Vanqui Bank, Amica, Daily and Play. On January 6, 2015, Radwańska signed a personal endorsement deal with financial management and HR software company Workday, Incorporated. The Pleasanton, California-based company announced the deal on its Twitter feed, and Radwańska sported the Workday logo on her dress as she beat Great Britain's Heather Watson in a Hopman Cup match in Australia. On April 12, 2017, Radwańska became an official ambassador for Lotos, Poland's biggest oil and gas producer. In the past 6 months, Radwańska added 3 more deals: collaboration with cosmetics brand Inglot, Srixon tennis rackets and Profbud, a high-end real estate developer in Poland. As part of her partnership with Profbud, Radwańska has become the face of the brand's luxury apartments in Warsaw. Charitable work: since 2009, Radwańska and her sister Ursula have devoted time during the off-season to Szlachetna Puka, Noble Box. The charity has its volunteers go door-to-door throughout the year compiling a database of families in need, asking them what would help ease the pressures of the holidays. Then, for a 3-week period from mid-November to early December, donors are given a list to take with them to the supermarket, where they fill a shopping cart with the food, clothing and more to donate to them. Additionally, she and Ursula offer their support to Habitat for Humanity and its project in Warsaw. As Habitat for Humanity ambassador, Radwańska stated, "It's an honor to be a part of such a fantastic cause and be involved with Habitat for Humanity, helping underprivileged families across the world. I have great respect for all the volunteers and those working hard every day against poverty." Housing impressive newcomer in 2006. Radwańska has been voted the WTA's fan favorite singles player for 6 consecutive years, 2011 to 2016, the most of any player, in polls held by Tatnus.com. Radwańska has also won WTA's fan favorite shot of the year for 4 consecutive years, 2013 to 2016. For her accomplishments in sport and for representing her country with distinction, in 2013 she was awarded the Gold Cross of Merit by Polish President Bronisław Komorowski. Personal life: born in Krakow to Robert Radwański and Marta, Radwańska began playing tennis at the age of 4 after her father introduced her to the sport. Her younger sister, Ursula, is also a tennis player. Radwańska has named Pete Sampras and Martina Hingis as inspirations. In 2009, Radwańska became a WTA ambassador for Habitat for Humanity. She has also studied tourism at universities in Krakow. Radwańska is a practicing Roman Catholic, and she took part in the Polish Catholic campaign Nie wstydź się Jezusa. I'm not ashamed of Jesus. She released a video for the campaign in which she urged her fans to not be ashamed, following it up with the defeat of 14th-seeded Nadia Petrova before eventually falling to Daniela Hantuchova. At the Pattaya Women's Open in Thailand, Radwańska won her second WTA singles title, beating Jill Craybuzz in the final. At the Qatar Ladies Open, Radwańska reached the semi-finals, losing to eventual champion Maria Sharapova. In May 2008, she won the Istanbul Cup on red clay with a victory over Elena Dementieva, earning her third WTA title. She then reached the fourth round of the French Open, but was defeated there by third seed and eventual semi-finalist Jelena Jankovic. On grass, Radwańska won the International Women's Open in Eastbourne, defeating Nadia Petrova in the final. At Wimbledon, she defeated Svetlana Kuznetsova in the fourth round, then lost to Serena Williams in the quarter-finals. At the Olympics in Beijing, Radwańska lost the second-round match to Francesca Schiavone. She went on to reach the fourth round of the U.S. Open, losing to Venus Williams. She later went to the 2008 WTA Tour Championships as an alternate and replaced Ana Ivanovic after the latter withdrew. She defeated Svetlana Kuznetsova of believing and arranged her tennis balls so they would read Jesus, Jesus. In the summer of 2013, she was disqualified from this campaign after posing nude for ESPN magazine's The Body issue. According to Forbes in 2012, she was the ninth highest-earning female athlete in the world. Radwańska is engaged to Dawid Selt, former Polish tennis player from Częstochowa, and her hitting partner. Her engagement was accidentally revealed by her friend, Caroline Wozniacki, on September 7, 2016. Career, 2005 to 2006, junior career and early years. Radwańska won the junior singles title at Wimbledon in 2005, defeating Tamira Bashek. She went on to win the Junior French Open title in 2006 with a victory over Anastasia Pavlyuchenkova. She played her first WTA tournament at the 2006 J&S Cup, later known as the Warsaw Open, in Warsaw, defeating Anastasia Moskina in her opening match. She advanced to the quarter-finals, where she lost to Elena Dementieva in 3 sets. At the 2006 Wimbledon Championships, she lost in the fourth round to Kim Clijsters. She went on to drop a second-round match to Tatiana Golovin at the U.S. Open. At the Fortis Championships Luxembourg tournament, Radwańska lost in the semi-finals to Francesca Schiavone after defeating former world number 1 Venus Williams in the second round and Dementieva in the quarter-finals. 2007 to 2008, first WTA title and breakthrough. Radwańska in action at the 2008 U.S. Open. Radwańska participated at the 2007 Australian Open, but she was upset by Ana Ivanovic in the second round. At the 2007 Sony Ericsson Open, Radwańska defeated her longtime idol, Martina Hingis, in a 3-set third-round match. She exited in the fourth round following a loss to Tatiana Garbin. In August 2007, Agnieszka Radwańska became the first Polish player in history to claim a WTA Tour singles title, defeating Vera Dushevina in the final of the Nordea Nordic Light Open. She went on to defeat defending champion Maria Sharapova in the third round of the U.S. Open, before losing to Israeli Sharapova in the fourth round. Radwańska reached the quarter-finals of the 2008 Australian Open, upsetting world number 2 Svetlana Kuznetsova in the third round, then The truth about Agnieszka Radwańska. Agnieszka Aga Radwańska, born March 6, 1989, is a Polish professional tennis player. Radwańska achieved a career-high singles ranking of world number 2 in July 2012 and is currently ranked world number 8 by the Women's Tennis Association, WTA. Known for constructing points and making intelligent use of the court, 4, 5, 6, she has won 20 career singles titles, and is nicknamed the Professor among players and the media. Her achievements include winning WTA's Fan Favorite Award 6 times, Shot of the Year 4 times, and Shot of the Month on a regular basis. Radwańska holds a number of tennis accolades. She is the first Polish player in the Open era to reach a Grand Slam singles final, the 2012 Wimbledon Championships, the first Pole to win the WTA Finals, in 2015, the first Pole to claim a WTA singles title, the 2007 Nordea Nordic Light Open, and was one half of the first Polish team to win the Hopman Cup tournament. In addition, she won the WTA award for most